Good afternoon and welcome. Very excited to have with us today Rob Moodey from Matrox. Now Rob, you've come all the way from Hall 11. Tell us a little bit about what Matrox is showing over in Hall 11.
Well, I think the most exciting thing that we've got is a world first. That always creates some excitement. We've created the first 9 output from a single card, graphics card. Custom designed for the 3x3 wall, which is pretty much the sweet spot in walls, because there's no crosshairs in the middle. 2x2s have a crosshair, 4x4s have a crosshair, 3x3s, they have a nice empty space in the middle for logos and messages.
Okay, so tell us how that works then. This is a single card, but it's got 9 outputs. How do you manage to get 9 outputs onto the back of a single card? Is it something else it attaches to, or is it just truly a card?
Yeah, it's a single card. It's part of our very successful C series. We've had a 4 out and a 6 out, which have done very well for themselves. But there's always been this missing part, because 9 just isn't a digital number. Our world goes 2, 4, 8, 16, and 9 just didn't fit. And now we've designed something specially for that application. It's one of the things we do. We listen to what our customers ask for. So okay. This is a real sweet spot in the signage world.
So this needs some form of, I mean, it's got obviously a lot of processing power on itself, but does it need a big beefy PC to run it as well, or? Well,
you might think that some of the gaming cards have got over-the-top power coming in to drive them. This is quite frugal. 75 watts, I guess, is a lot, but you can draw that all through the motherboard, so it doesn't need over-the-top power. It's its own standalone graphics card. That's one of the great excitements. The integrators can now use a single slot and quite a small package for a 3x3 wall.
Okay, and does it need any specific digital signage software or other software to run the card, or is it just works with lots of off-the-shelf packages?
We provide, of course, the desktop, so it would work with any signage software. But our friends at Dyes and NDS and Scala have all taken the time to evaluate the C series, because at this end of signage, it's not commoditizing. You can do a lot of good stuff with Nooks and individual signage players and attached to single monitors, but at the premium end, where you've got a big wall, it needs graphics cards and systems. They know that. That's why they took the time to evaluate it. So yes, it's supported by all of those folks.
Well, that sounds quite good. I'm sure that Dyes Net Display Systems and Scala will love you for producing that sort of simplistic-ish type thing to go to bigger video wall stuff.
It's one of those environments where we all work together to the best advantage. Classic example.
How many people from Matrox are over? I know you've been a long-term exhibitor here. Typically, how many people do you bring on?
We try to bring folks from the European offices and someone from headquarters. We've got 3 folks who've made the journey from Montreal to be with us, so that's a good representation of headquarters talking to the world, and headquarters listening to the world as well. Because let's face it, ISE is a big show now, and it's got world presence.
What's the biggest change that you've seen? Because you came to ISE initially when it was in Brussels, I think.
Snowy Brussels, remember it well.
A long time ago. What's the biggest change that you've seen, apart from the size, what's the biggest change you've seen in the show in those 10 years or so?
I think 10 years ago, signage was pretty much still in its infancy. We were probably still calling it narrowcasting then, weren't we? But that has grown apace as the industry around us. And I think convergence, the famous convergence, has happened again and again. We've seen more IP finding its way into what we all do every day. So that's probably the biggest change. IP has found its way into mainstream for us.
And we've got a 4th day coming up tomorrow, the first ever 4-day show for ISE. How have you found the traffic over the days 1, 2 and 3 so far?
We were very surprised how busy it was on the first day, and we thought if this is the harbinger of things to come, we're going to be very happy. We're still happy. I had difficulty getting away to be here, but so we're happy at the moment. I think the acid test is tomorrow. Is the 4th day delivering what we all hope it will. So I can tell you that our meeting calendar is full for tomorrow. So there's certainly plenty of folks who want to talk to us and we want to talk to them. I hope there's enough foot traffic as well.
Yes, I think we had David Labuskis, the CEO of Infocom, on the show earlier this morning. He said there were 64,000 pre-registered people for the show, so we're looking at numbers north of that as attendance. I think most people are figuring out that the acid test for the 4th day will be today. If the 3rd day is good numbers, it means the 4th day's worked. And one of the ideas is to keep those numbers up. So
yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, the 3rd day would traditionally have tailed away as you got into exhibitor-only afternoon syndrome. Yeah. And that hasn't happened. So in that respect, it's been a great success.
Yes, I would agree. Here on the NEC display stand, we've been pretty busy. Day 3's been, I think, particularly good. So we're looking out for that to continue. Last question then. How important is an event such as an ISE to Matrox? When you think that you're really a Montreal company, you have lots of other events you do, and there's obviously Infocom. How important is it ISE in your global calendar?
For Matrox Graphics, ISE is our biggest show in Europe. Other divisions of Matrox might say IBC or some other show, but for us, ISE is the biggest one. Infocom in the Middle East is probably the next one. The importance of shows like this to us is it allows us to showcase to the world, and to obviously the visitors of the world, that we're more than just the graphics card company that they remember us for. Everyone knows us for graphics cards, but we've got so much more that we can offer the industry in terms of KVM extensions, AV over IP, wall controllers, all things that are perhaps not in the pigeonhole that they have us mentally stored under. So that's the value of the show, to showcase the diversity.
Wow, well, it's nice to know, and Mike Blackman will be pleased to know this is the most important show.
I'm sure he will.
And it kicks off the year.
He does a good job.
He does a great job. Mike, Rob, thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure.